Dr. Kemi for Kemi Talks Media. It's Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025. Let's talk about the Ooni of Ife and the ALAAFIN for Europe. This video should be in Yoruba. I don't do English videos anymore, but I'm just going to do this one in English. The Ooni of Ife is the king of Ife. The ALAAFIN of Oyo is the king of Oyo. Oyo and Oshu State used to be one state. This is where my father had a state funeral that involved Demola Adeleke and Seyi Makinde, two governors. I didn't attend. At the end of the day, this used to be one state, and two major kings came from that state. Now, one of the Ooni of Ifes happens to be my father's very good friend. The late Okunade Shujuade was my father's friend when he was Prince Shujuade. The ALAAFIN of Oyo, the late Lamidi Adeyemi, was also my father's good friend, and my father crowned him during the whole brouhaha in the 70s when he was commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs. The process of crowning Adeyemi was a very long one. A lot of fights, a lot of everything. You can read up on the history. All those people are dead and gone now, but the history is very extensive. I was about maybe, I don't know, I was like 7 or 8 years old when that happened, but I remember everything. Now, the Ooni and the ALAAFIN, that whole war has been there from day one. When Adeyemi was fighting with Shijuade on this whole thing, okay, we witnessed it. And my dad would go to the media and tell the media about who's the spiritual leader, who's the Oba, all that stuff. Luckily, I became a journalist and I keep a lot of archives. So I'm going to show you a few things now. And you can see that Eni Togunwusi, the Ooni of Ife, is a young king, and so is, the ALAAFIN, the new ALAAFIN as well. And this is from Punch. It says Yoruba elders are wading in as ALAAFIN and Ooni feud escalates. Who are the Yoruba elders? They're all dead. So this is why this caught my attention. Most of the Yoruba leaders that were wading into this are dead, the real ones. And my dad is one of them. Most of them are gone. Even the old Olubadons are gone. So who else is there? Ladoja and a few others. So this Vanguard headline says, as the supremacy battle between the ALAAFIN, Oba Abimbola Wade, and the Ooni of Ife, Oba Enito Adeyeye. Notice how one is the Imperial Majesty. Okay? Both of them are Imperial Majesty. It gets messier. The former, which is the ALAAFIN, the new ALAAFIN said yesterday that the British had signed a treaty with the ALAAFIN recognizing him as the superior head of the Yoruba nation. Okay, the British did sign that treaty that he's the superior head of the Yoruba nation. However, okay, this is the time you want to wake up my dad from the grave, but thank God I keep archives. Read this. This is one of those Nigerian tabloids. I think this was City People. I'm not sure, but I think this was City People. And this was like 2012, a long time ago. I only caught it because I wanted to show you my dad's part. Look at what my father said. ALAAFIN is the political leader and Ooni is the spiritual head. 2 hours with Dr. Olunloyo. Okay, I have a little bit of this interview. You're going to have to zoom in. You won't be able to read it because this is a video format. But he's saying here ALAAFIN, he's always gone to the media and told them that ALAAFIN is the political leader, Ooni is the spiritual leader. So who is the strongest one? The spiritual one or the political one? Obviously, it's the political person that's stronger, which is what Owade is. Bimbola is, by the way, Bimbola lived in Canada at the same time I was in Canada. So if I call these people by their first name, just understand, okay? The same thing with Eniton. I knew all these people before they became kings, but at the end of the day, they're my kings now. Bimbola was in Canada with me, and if you notice what Bimbola said about the treaty that the British signed, that he's the head of the Yoruba nation, okay? And so, this is my dad. and the ALAAFIN for you. Adeyemi made my father Balogun for you. Okay, and here they are, both of them, at the Oromio Festival in 2000 and I don't remember, I think it's 15 or 13. But you can see them there under the tent, and I did a selfie showing them in the background. They're all gone now. And this rare picture was taken in London when the ALAAFIN came to an event in the UK with his wives. Ooni was also at the event. Now, this particular photo went viral because of this whole ALAAFIN or your feud. You can see the person that tweeted it, what they wrote, Baba ALAAFIN, Kubaba Yeye, and has a beautiful heart. And his sense of humility is second to none. Like, if you look at both of them, who is older? Adeyemi is obviously older. And the younger one, they're both greeting each other, but look how the ALAAFIN bent his head. ALAAFIN for your greets Arole Odua Onorisha with full respect as a function in the UK. So this picture got a lot of attention because of the older one. Is the one that looks like it's bowing down to the younger one. Now, this article right here, okay, was from a Nigerian newspaper when the ALAAFIN for your made my dad the Osibalogun for you. So they have this Olunaya's Day of Glory. This was like a long time ago in the 80s. This is my dad in the bottom. Look at the box that says ALAAFIN is the Shango. He is the Oronyo. In fact, he is the real Shango. The Oba in Ife is not an Oba. He is an Abore, meaning priest, though he's my personal friend. You see, this is when Adeyemi made my dad Osi Balogun Ovoyo. My dad eventually became the Balogun Ovoyo, another crown title. But let's look at this article. This was in the 80s. This article was 1982 in one of the Nigerian papers. 1982 when he crowned my dad as Osi Balogun Ovoyo. Obashiju Ade was still alive, I believe. He was, I don't remember. I wanted to say his age. He was my father's friend. And this particular article talks about who is who and what is what. My dad says clearly here that he's not an Oba, he's just a priest. Okay, that the ALAAFIN is always the supreme leader. And this is what Uwade is trying to tell Enitogunsi. There was a period there Enitogunsi had nobody to fight with because the ALAAFIN was dead and they had not chosen a new one. So now the feud has resumed with two different kings. That's why I want you guys to understand. If you can zoom into this and read this, there's the article there. Most of what he said was in there, But this one is the Balogun one. Balogun was 2012. Osi Balogun was 1982. So both articles here are like years apart. But he mentioned it over here too. Ajimobi hails monarch. Ajimobi was still alive. Like all these people are dead and gone, but this is all history. And this is why I tell you journalism is a rough draft of history and why I keep these articles. So now we got two new kings and they're going through the same deja vu. This is what the British, this is what's known as deja vu in English, the feud. You can see. I hope I made sense in what I just gave you. Like, I had to go dig out some of these articles, but rest in peace to everyone that's gone. And I hope they just stop it. Really, there are more important things going on. British signed treaty. The British is the cause of most of our problems in Nigeria, if not all of it. We're just a great country with bad people. Dr. Kemi.